What's up, everybody, and welcome to a game called The Monster Inside. Now, this is a game I just ran across on Steam because I was looking for a horror game, and I've seen this and it kind of intrigued me. So, let's get started. The Monster Inside, an audio-visual novella by Random Seed Games. My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I'd had in years left me feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw. But just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. Ooh, this looks creepy. There was another notice on the door from the mayor of Venetti's office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. It was a slow month, weeks since I had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring into the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an odd bedsheet. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see, afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. A girl came in so quiet I nearly choked on my cigarette. "Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister." I tried. Don't do anything. I'm trying, okay? Calm down, sit and talk slow. "Okay, thanks." It's just, well, I'm already a girl, so I'm just gonna use the rest, like my regular voice. "Okay, thanks. It's just no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale, I'm listening." She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress, the man all over the newspapers, the infamous banker Mr. Reginald Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering. I can't read that word, sorry, I'm not allowed to cuss. But this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. "You don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him, but no one believes me. He's gotta be in trouble." "I ain't saying I believe you, but what do you think he's in danger? Or what makes you think he's in danger? Our case looks pretty simple to me. Hold on." I don't believe her entirely, because I mean, like, if you're, like, cheating on your wife or something like that, you end up making this plan with, like, I guess, your side girlfriend or something like that, or how you kill the wife and then you all live with, like, the fortune and stuff like that. It's weird, but I'm not saying I believe her, but I guess, well, Jack. You can call me Jack. Jesus Christ, this game. It knows who my favorite YouTuber is. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Jack. Whoever did that to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left without me. He promised me. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me and they want to bring him in charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Farnsworth had practically the entire police force in his deep pockets. Probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they found him and brought him in, it would be due to the public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. You've got my curiosity, but you might find what I might find. But you might not like what I find. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry now. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you. But please, be careful. I don't think this was any murder or kidnapper. I think it was a beast. Oh my Jesus. Beast. A word struck me funny. Like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. Not a word many use these days, except in husband whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, it said hushed, by the way. I messed up and said husband. Oh, They were real enough, all right. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges. But I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it, don't you worry now. Leave the detective work to me. Let's not jump to conclusions here. Well, that's definitely an interesting story. Okay, so let's not jump to conclusions because I'm pretty sure it's called Monsters Inside, so I'm pretty sure there's a monster, so, she's jumping to conclusions, but she's probably 100% correct. Definitely an interesting theory. Yes, it is an interesting theory. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of this. It's an interesting theory. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're good at this sort of thing. I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. I didn't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. That night I made my way down to Central Park. It was a long shot, but maybe there was something there the cops had missed. Next chapter. The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago, but I got a knack for finding things others overlook. Okay. A knack, more of a symptom of condition. Other, less useful symptoms I kept in check, but for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. It was faint, but I could smell it, before I even approached the police line. The scent was less of a thing, and more of an emotion. Seduction. A strangely familiar smell. I expected the scent of trepidation, or maybe even outright fear. But Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Oh, Jesus Christ, this story's getting weird. Brought new meaning to a crime of passion. Oh, jeez. Pushing the thought from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Investigate the scene. Okay. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste. Ooh, scratches on the wall. But cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of What kind of shoes are you wearing, bro? Carquinos? It looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet. Investigate the scene. Scratches. The burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. This wasn't just any burn mark. This was a mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful. The cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here. But I was no stranger to the strange. Wow, that's a good line. I'm going to use that. I was no stranger to the strange. After looking around for a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me. So I trudged back to my apartment and my head hit my pillow like it owed me money. The next morning I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares. But I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I motioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up the courage to ask, "So what did you find?" Farnsworth might still be alive, not sure about beasts, but something unnatural was at play. Might be right to worry about monsters. Found a spell's mark. Okay, so we aren't for sure that those were his footprints. That could have been like a cop who, bought expensive pairs of shoes. But something unnatural did happen to the tree. The burn was like, I guess, magic or something like that. And then, might be right to worry about monsters, found a spell's mark. I don't think monsters would leave that. Maybe someone who is like, not magical, but like into voodoo or something like that, with like most of the potions and weird conjuring things. So let's click that one. Unnatural? How do you mean? The spell's mark, rarely seen these days, but unmistakable. I can't give you details, but I'm looking into it. No, let's give her the details. I mean, she deserves to know. What does that mean? What about Reggie? Do you know where he might be? Found his footprints. Seems like he got out safely. There were signs he was at scene and slipped away. Okay. There weren't exactly signs. We didn't for sure find his footprints, but we could say there were signs that he may have slipped away. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed the bottle from my desk drawer. A dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. But you don't know where he went. Do you think the news this morning is related? What news is that? Haven't you heard? Rough night followed by a rough morning. Yeah, but maybe you should tell me what you know. Okay. So, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I didn't hear it. They found the police chief's wife dead down by the docks. They say it happened last night. Let me guess. Chief Amato is missing too. My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a cop and a thief. Or chief. Why do I keep messing up words? I don't get it. He was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin. Oh my god, I suck at reading, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain of my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work. She left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. That night after the cops had cleared out the docks, I would slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Mrs. Amato's untimely demise. Next chapter. The cold air smelled strongly of salt and oil and... Could it be? What could it be? That smell again, like someone had bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. It hit me like a long-forgotten memory, but the sensual fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. I looked down at my hands shaking, the nightmares, the headaches. No, I was better now, reformed. I had to focus, no jumping to conclusions, follow the evidence. Investigate the scene. Okay, so we see some seaweed. Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same brand I smoke every day. Everyone's got their vice. There's a... Ooh, what's this? There, just there, the smallest piece of purple fabric, torn and caught in the splinter of a board. Oh, I didn't see it. I just scanned over to see if anything would happen. The police report didn't say anything about Mrs. Amato wearing purple, and it was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads. Okay, so let's see. I pulled out my own pack of reds and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looking out over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling in the top of my brain. Next chapter. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently, I spent the nights in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes. I suck at reading. I'm so sorry. It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had it been? Had I recently slept through the entire day? A newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Mayor missing, wife found dead. 2 cases is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. The cops would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. I stumbled to my desk and slammed back 3 days' worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. I threw on my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. I'm sorry, Lily, but I don't have time to talk. I have to go. I've been busy. I'm off to Mrs. Vanetti's crime scene. No, I'll just tell her where I'm going. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay, but it would be a lie. Next chapter. Ooh, this just creeps me out. The alley was located just behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Vanetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash into evidence. I'm going to. Haha. Why wouldn't they at least look through the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wanted to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually means someone was dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot. Shell companies. Shady stock trades. Bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked, but this was unbelievable. And there was more. Letters between Mayor Vanetti and Chief Amato talking about me. How they were trying to get me shut down. They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this time. Investigate the scene. Car. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left it in his car? It didn't make any sense. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find him. But the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. As I searched around for anything that might assuage my fears, I caught the scent again. It overwhelmed my other senses with undulating pleasure. Oh my god. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed. A weapon I knew all too well, though it had been many years since I had used it. Was there another like me? Was I being framed? It wasn't possible, was it? Okay, since the video didn't record right, I had ended it here. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Good job to the developers. This game was really intriguing, and it was cool how you had to go around and look for clues. But I also wish it had a little bit more of a story, but still a great game. Thanks for watching. Later, nerds.